I'm Yawei Chen. In this video, we would like to talk about adaptive reuse of heritage sites and how to develop sustainable development strategies and management to create values for heritage sites. We will also highlight some governance challenges in the process of creating values for heritage sites.
Heritage value can be defined as economic measurable value and non-economic narrative value. Non-economic value is value that cannot be measured in economic costs or benefits, like emotional or experience value, historic value, and architectural value. Economic measurable value refers to direct and indirect value related to, for instance, use, comfort, and recreation value, and the induced value for surrounding properties. Decision-making for adaptive reuse can be described by this scheme. First, describing the current use state of the building, vacant or partially vacant, underused, inappropriate for current use, or satisfactory for current use. Then we assess the possible interventions. Demolish, which means basically that there is no way back. Maintaining in vacant state while assessing ideas for reuse. Partly strip off the facade and maintain the rest. Partly or fully sustainably adapt, extend or sell. And next, different types of adaptation will be the outcome. Firstly, adaptation within use or cross-use, adaptive reuse, and afterwards, adding an ancillary use or adaptive reuse to new mixed use. Which option is chosen depends on several criteria. Some of the most important criteria are type of location, heritage classification, aesthetic quality, quality and state of maintenance, floor size and layout, useful construction, extendable, adaptable, and so on. We illustrate the different heritage values by 3 case studies, focusing on induced economic value, environmental value, and societal value. The first case is the Hilde in Amsterdam, a former tram depot. The building was empty for a long time and was squatted, leading to vandalism and following dilapidation. There were several proposals for redevelopment, however, none were successful. In 2011, neighbors drafted a proposal together with a heritage architect. This was successful, and the adaptation into a multifunctional cultural center was completed in 2014. Its success was based upon the existing flexible land use plan and land lease agreement with the municipality, and a financially robust business plan that attracted investors. This project is a result of co-creation, with the neighborhood being involved in the development, which led to increased social cohesion. The adaptation increased the area's attractiveness and economic activity, and finally also the financial value of houses in the surrounding area. De Keuvel is a transformation of the former shipyard Volharding. It closed in 2000 and the buildings were demolished in 2002. In 2012, the municipality held a competition for reuse. The winner proposed a 10-year temporary reuse, a sustainable creative hub, circular office park, cafe and restaurant, and floating hotel. The project is an experiment where depreciated houseboats from elsewhere in Amsterdam were reused and connected by a pier. Entrepreneurs and volunteers co-created the pier and leveling of the ground. The experiment includes soil cleaning plants to purify the contaminated soil within 10 years, reuse of material from the neighborhood, and closing the cycles. Everything is floating and connected by piers running through the area. The plants clean the soil faster than expected. Hanneke's Boom is located in a former problematic area with criminality and vandalism. A competition was held to increase safety and improve livability with a 5-year temporary project. The winning project proposed a creative and sustainable bar, restaurant, and cultural event place. The building was built using recycled materials, following a business model focusing on sustainability, although the cradle-to-cradle development was twice as expensive and work cost-consuming as a project using new materials. Through crowdfunding, co-creation with neighbors in the creative process and construction, costs were still held low and impact was high. Over 3,000 people joined the opening event. The transformation increased the vibrancy and safety in the area.
Governments, market parties, interest groups, and citizens generally agree on the benefits and values of preserving and reusing cultural heritage in urban redevelopment projects. Despite the general consensus, conflicts often arise during the planning and development stages. One important challenge is to manage the unique resources of heritage with both tangible and intangible values, considering complex prioritizations of decisions in development processes. Another challenge concerns the need of an organizing body or platform that coordinates and manages activities and flows of both information and communication. Without appropriate governance structure to address the different interests, conflicts may arise in the process of heritage transformation. In recent years, various studies stress the social values that encompasses the significance of the historical environment to contemporary community. It's only in the second half of the 20th century that the social value of heritage become an explicit component of a conservation policy and practice. This has also coincided with increasing attention to broader, non-expert perceptions of heritage and the communal values associated with these focuses. The adaptive reuse plans of heritage often fail to capture the dynamic, iterative, and embodied nature of people's relationship with the historical environment in the present. This has led to local community voice their own concerns about development impacting on heritage sites and the historical environment around the heritage sites. In various occasions, opposition from the communities towards the adaptive reuse plan led to stagnancy in the transformation of heritage sites. The opposition arose from the lack of consideration of the real diverse wishes of the communities and citizens. The discourse of community participation is sometimes overly ambitious in its intents, and from a practical point of view, is not easy to apply. Often the so-called communities are neither universal nor homogeneous. In the transformation of UNESCO World Heritage, the former military defense fort Kudostad, the municipality and the real estate developer wanted to develop the site into a high-quality nautical center with additional harbor amenities, hotel rooms, spa, wellness facilities, and meeting spaces. However, the proposal received opposition from the local inhabitants and the community organizations. Adjacent the communities hope to develop educational functions that benefit the local youth, but are afraid of disturbance like noise, traffic, and crimes. Other community organizations hope that the heritage can provide leisure functions that the area is seriously lacking. To address the stagnancy in the project, it's crucial to map the wishes and concerns of all involved and potential stakeholders, different groups and organizations within the community. Temporary workshops, interviews, surveys can be explored to allow people discuss their own interests and needs. It's also very effective to set up collaborative working groups to address the stagnancy, tensions, input, and possible solutions. For example, in the Kudostad case, besides reducing noise and traffic, local community hope to address the educational function for local youth through museum, educational center, and water sports center. Through collaborative workshops, these suggestions and their potential added value were able to be communicated with the developer. From the Fort Kudostad case, we can also see that by engaging the communities, especially different groups within these, More social values appeared in the discussion and the shared vision. We also discovered that the stagnancy usually arrives with different wishes of stakeholders who had no opportunities to or failed to communicate well with each other. The wishes and concerns that covers the diversity of the communities can enrich the heritage transformation results by adding various social values.
We have shown that heritage value can be established as economic, environmental, and societal value. Depending on the stakeholders, context, and situation, one of these can be leading for the adaptive reuse project.
What we can learn from the fourth Kudostart case is that we should pay special attention to the governance structure to engage diverse community representatives and grasp their interests and wishes. Before talking about trade-offs and resolutions, communication should be improved to reduce the miscommunication between stakeholders, especially between the developers and the communities. It's important to see by employing collaborative meetings, knowledge can be shared and exchanged. This leads to different stakeholders growing in a more shared visions towards the future of the heritage.